Yeah, I would think so. Obviously, with only being here for a few months, I'm not going to suddenly have a class of fluent English speakers, but I definitely think I've reached my goal in just my method of teaching, and it's become much more fluent on the way to teach English to these students. I feel like I've learned a lot about different techniques that different students learn and different ways to teach, and so I've been able to incorporate that in what I learn and what I teach. Teaching English is so different from teaching any other subject. It opens doors for these students. It brings possibilities and opportunities for these students later on. And it's such a personal and such an intimate thing to be able to teach a language to a student, and you see progress pretty rapidly, I'd say. Like, it's definitely something you see them develop. You watch everything, and it's so encouraging when they can look at you and say a full sentence in English, and you're like, wow, like I played a part in helping them to be able to develop that skill. So now, I mean, it's still going to be a lot of prayer, a lot of thought of what my future career is going to be. But going back to the States, I mean, I'm really interested in enrolling actually in my university's program to be able to learn how to be an ESL teacher and to possibly explore that career path of that being my job instead of your standard regular classroom teacher. So this class has changed my perspective on my career path, to be completely frank.
That was definitely not something I'd ever thought about. I am a special education, I'm going to be a special education teacher, so I definitely wanted to make sure that I had the skills to be able to communicate, at least attempt to communicate effectively with all my students. And I think, especially being in the classroom, this has been a massive learning experience for me. I thought that I had always had this, I thought I had a talent of being able to communicate with people who sometimes can't communicate verbally.
We've challenged you.
It challenged me. I mean, being in a classroom with, 8-year-olds who, one, don't understand what I'm saying, and I don't understand what they're saying. So it takes a level of patience that I thought I had already had, but that I've been able to continue to develop in a really cool way. And it's been a lot of fun.
You have to plan out every week. It isn't easy at all. You have to put a lot of thought into them. Their time management has to be good. You have to plan for the worst, the good, and the amount of time that you are given, and how to go about your lesson plans too. Like, what works for your students and what works for you. And it's not easy at all. And honestly, I give props to, props to teachers and education majors who are still pursuing this and who still plan on being future educators. It's not easy. And for me, it's made me expand my worldview and my experience, and now I'm even considering joining a program back at home.
Considering joining an education program now?
Yeah, like an after-school program.
And options now?
Yeah, it's like a side career. I think that would be very fascinating.
Yes. If you have any remote interest in education, even if it's not your profession, doing SLA will help change your perspective on just language in general, and especially as education majors, it will help you be able to equip yourself for your future students who are inevitably going to come into your classroom and not know how to speak English. It's going to happen in America. There's so many people coming into America specifically. So being able to learn how to teach those students best will help you, and it will help your future students as well.